Marcus Aurelius is one of the most famous Stoic philosophers ever. He was the Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD and was the last of the rulers known as the Five Good Emperors. As one of the most powerful people in the world at that time, he could have indulged in any of his desires, but he chose to focus on fairness and justice instead. During his reign, Aurelius wrote a series of personal writings called the Meditations, which have become essential texts in Stoic philosophy. In these writings, he offers advice on how to improve oneself. His guidance focuses on looking at life from a broader perspective and critically analyzing your judgments about yourself and others. As a leader of a powerful empire that faced many wars, Aurelius applied his Stoic principles to manage stress and worries, aiming to be the best and most reliable leader possible. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, it is also an inspiring way of thinking and living. The Stoics believed that doing the right thing was the key to personal happiness, and that clear, rational thinking was necessary to make good decisions. In this video, we will explore how you can develop a rational mind through 5 important lessons from the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. These lessons will help you think more clearly and make better decisions in your daily life. 1. Train your perception. Marcus Aurelius teaches us an important lesson. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. This highlights the Stoic idea of controlling your perception. We often judge everything we encounter, events, people, sights, with labels like bad, good, boring, fun, beautiful, or ugly. This constant judgment can be exhausting and negatively impact our lives. For example, if you judge every interaction on a tough day as awful, you'll end up feeling that the whole day was terrible. If you call a party boring, that's all it will be. A boring part of your week. Our initial judgments are often influenced by our emotions, making them less rational. We also tend to use exaggerated language that makes things seem worse than they are. For instance, if a partner breaks up with you, saying they broke your heart sounds much worse than simply recognizing that they no longer feel the same way. This way of thinking shapes how we feel. It's not the event itself that hurts us, but how we choose to think about it. Stoics encourage us to be careful with our judgments and try to undo them. This means looking past our initial reactions and seeing things more positively and rationally. For example, reframe that boring party as an opportunity to see a new place and meet new people. Even if you didn't connect with anyone, you didn't go in expecting negativity. To train your perception, always ask yourself, is this rational? What is my opinion based on? Is there a better or more positive way to see this? Marcus Aurelius emphasized that things only harm us if we view them as harms. So the harder and worse you think something is, the more it affects you. You have control over how much situations impact you. Stoics also suggest seeing every bad thing as an opportunity for good. Try the challenge of turning the obstacle upside down. If a new co-worker's mistakes are frustrating, see it as a chance to practice patience, become a better teacher, and learn how to integrate new people into the company. These skills will be useful later and help increase profits in the long run. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So, instead of judging everything harshly, look at things as they truly are. You'll find life simpler and clearer. Every situation can be seen positively or negatively. Adjust your mindset, and you'll find that things bother you less, making life much easier. 2. Control your emotions. Marcus Aurelius advises us to stop letting our emotions take over our logical thinking. He says, stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. Acting purely on emotions often clouds our judgment, making it difficult to think clearly. To maintain clear thinking, it's crucial to learn how to control your emotions. According to Marcus Aurelius, anger is especially harmful. Many people think controlling emotions means suppressing them, but this isn't true. If you feel intense anger after a betrayal, denying or pretending it doesn't exist won't make it go away. No matter how much you try to push it down, the anger will still be there. Instead, the Stoics suggest redirecting your emotions. This means finding a constructive way to deal with them. For instance, if you're angry, ask yourself what you can do with that anger. Yelling might seem satisfying in the moment, but it won't help improve your situation or make you feel better in the long run. Redirecting emotions involves channeling them into positive actions. You might express your feelings by calmly discussing the issue, writing in a journal, exercising, or engaging in a hobby. This approach helps you manage your emotions without letting them control you. Learning to redirect your emotions allows you to maintain a clear and rational mind, even in difficult situations. This skill is key to thinking clearly and making better decisions. When you feel angry, ask yourself what you can do with that anger. Yelling at the person who hurt you might be tempting, but will it really help you feel better or improve the situation? Will it make the person who betrayed you act better? Think about what you are tempted to do and ask yourself if it is helpful. If it isn't, find a better way to express your emotions. For instance, calmly talk with the person who hurt you, explain your feelings, and try to understand their perspective. You could also write in a journal, exercise, play a video game, or engage in another activity that helps you release your anger. The same applies to anxiety or fear. You can't just push these feelings down, but you can redirect them. Instead of letting anxiety paralyze you, use it as a challenge. If you're scared to ask your boss for a raise, don't let the fear stop you. Use the fear to prepare yourself by thinking about what could go wrong, considering possible questions, and planning your responses. Your fear can motivate you positively. It can push you to face challenges and grow as a person. You can use it to prove to yourself that you can handle difficult situations. Instead of acting despite your fear, act because of it. By acknowledging your anxiety and thinking, "How great that I'm trying this anyway," you can turn a negative feeling into a positive action. When you learn to redirect your strong emotions effectively, you will stay calm in any situation. Your emotions will no longer cloud your judgment, allowing you to think rationally and make smart decisions. Controlling your emotions is essential for maintaining a calm and clear mind. 3. Master the art of control. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The dichotomy of control is about understanding the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. For example, the weather, traffic, and other people's opinions are beyond our control. However, you can control how you dress, when you leave the house, and who you spend time with. When you face a situation that makes you feel a certain way, ask yourself, what can I control? If it's something you can control, take action. If it's beyond your control, learn to accept it without letting it affect you. Distinguishing between these two can clear your mind instantly. A key part of the dichotomy of control is the concept of amor fati, which means love for fate. Embracing life and all its circumstances will help you always love life. You cannot change your fate or control certain circumstances, but you can choose to love your life no matter what happens. For example, if you are rejected for a job you wanted for years, you might feel there is no silver lining. But instead of viewing this as purely negative, investigate what led to this outcome and use it to improve. If the reason you didn't get the job was something you could control, like a lack of certain skills, you can work on improving those skills and try again. If the reason was out of your control, like nepotism or a personality clash, it's pointless to be upset over something you couldn't change. Accepting fate involves distancing yourself from fixed outcomes and external markers of success. If you want to be a writer and measure success by book sales, you're letting the market control your success. Instead, measure success by how satisfied you are with your work or the effort you put in. This way, you control your success. Do everything in your power to achieve your goals, but accept that you might not always succeed. Focus on what you can control and accept everything else as it comes. This mindset will help you stay calm no matter what happens. 4. Live virtuously. Marcus Aurelius said, "Dig deep within yourself, for there is a fountain of goodness ever ready to flow if you will keep digging." A virtue is essentially morally good behavior. Acting virtuously benefits not only you and those around you, but also the greater good. The Stoics believed in an interconnected universe where everything and everyone is connected in some way. Therefore, what is best for the greater good is ultimately best for you as well. The Stoics were convinced that the most rational people were those who committed to the greater good, or in other words, acted virtuously. According to Stoicism, not acting virtuously is a result of ignorance. When life takes an unexpected turn, virtues can guide you on what to do and keep you grounded. This is why the most virtuous people tend to be the calmest and most relaxed. To be virtuous, you need to keep the 4 most important Stoic virtues in mind: wisdom, justice, temperance, and courage. 1. Wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to judge what is good, bad, or neutral. Instead of being controlled by emotions, you must think clearly and logically about what the morally correct action would be. When faced with difficult choices, wisdom helps you think through your options. 2. Justice. Justice, guided by wisdom, means doing what is right and fair for others as well as yourself. The Stoics believed it was our duty to act justly toward ourselves, our fellow humans, and society as a whole. 3. Courage. Courage is the ability to take action despite fear. It's about doing what is necessary or helpful, even when you are uncertain of the outcome. Courage is not about eliminating fear, but deciding to act in spite of it. 4. Temperance. Temperance means self-control and moderation. It involves managing your desires and impulses, ensuring that you act in a balanced and rational way. By keeping these virtues in mind, you can navigate life's challenges more effectively and maintain inner peace. Temperance, also known as moderation, means staying balanced and avoiding extremes. It's about not taking too much or too little of anything. In everyday life, temperance often looks like self-restraint, self-control, or discipline. Marcus Aurelius believed that what sets humans apart from animals is our ability to stop ourselves when necessary. Temperance is crucial for long-term well-being over short-term satisfaction. For example, think about a bag of chips. Eating the whole bag at once might feel good at the moment, but it's bad for your health and can even affect your mood negatively. Practicing self-restraint means stopping after a few bites. Wisdom helps with temperance. By thinking wisely, you can decide how much of something is enough and when to stop. The Stoics divided everything into 3 categories: good, evil, and indifferent. It's important to seek out good, avoid evil, and handle indifferent things as you choose. You create evil when you act against virtues like stealing, disrespecting others, acting recklessly, or harming someone. You do good when you follow these virtues. Indifferent acts, like taking a walk, are neutral. They don't affect your moral standing. Following these simple rules not only makes you a better person, but also a more relaxed one. Acting according to virtues keeps you guided by good and ensures you act rationally. This behavior creates a calm and peaceful mind. 5. Always consider the big picture. Marcus Aurelius once said, "How beautifully Plato put it. Whenever you want to talk about people, it's best to take a bird's-eye view and see everything all at once." This means that looking at the bigger picture is crucial for keeping your mind clear. When we're caught up in our daily lives, every problem can feel overwhelming. For instance, being stuck in a small crowd might make you think the entire city is crowded, but stepping aside a bit can show you it's not the case. Similarly, when we step back and view our lives from a broader perspective, we realize how small our problems really are. It's important to remember that our experiences and opinions aren't the only things that matter. Someone who had a bad experience with dogs might not see how great they can be as pets for others unless they consider different viewpoints. Taking a step back occasionally helps us see what we might be missing. This is useful in many situations. For example, if you're trying to decide whether to stay at your current job or apply for a new one, it might seem tough, especially if you're unsure if either will make you happy. You might like your current job, but not want the extra responsibilities of a promotion, even though you appreciate the higher pay. Instead of feeling stuck, think about other possibilities. Have you thought about switching to a completely different career, or maybe starting a side hustle to earn extra money while keeping your current job? You could also focus on a hobby to take your mind off things you don't enjoy as much. Often, there are many options in life that we don't even realize exist. By looking at the big picture, instead of just focusing on what's right in front of you, you can make better decisions. This broad view helps not only in choosing what's important, but also in forming opinions. To judge something properly, you need to know all the options or aspects of a situation. Stepping back also means moving away from your personal views and biases. When you momentarily set aside your own desires, you can remember the people around you and your responsibilities to them. For example, you might think littering is not a big deal in the heat of the moment, but when you consider the whole world and the impact if everyone did it, you see that your desire to litter is insignificant compared to the well-being of the planet. The Stoics believed that everything in the world is interconnected, and that improving the world's well-being also improves your own. So, looking at the big picture is crucial. When facing a decision, problem, or change, ask yourself some questions. This can be done in the moment or later, like when you're reflecting on your day during a walk or journaling. Here are some key questions to consider. 1. What could the long-term effects of my choice or action be? 2. How might someone else's perspective on this differ from mine? 3. Do I know anyone in a similar situation or with similar goals who could help me? 4. Does my choice or action affect my well-being? 5. Does it affect the well-being of those around me? 6. Are there any options I haven't considered yet? Taking the time to think about these questions helps you understand your actions, thoughts, life, and choices more clearly. It also allows you to help the world. When you consider the whole picture, you gain a broader perspective that frees you from unnecessary restraint, bias, or doubt. In the grand tapestry of life, it's easy to get tangled in the threads of our immediate concerns, fears, and desires. But remember, you have the power to rise above these entanglements. By controlling your emotions, exercising the dichotomy of control, and always considering the big picture, you can navigate life with a calm and rational mind. Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics remind us that our true strength lies in our ability to see beyond the immediate, to embrace what we cannot change, and to act virtuously for the greater good. These ancient teachings are not just philosophical musings, they are practical tools for living a fulfilling and balanced life. So the next time you face a challenge or decision, take a step back, reflect on what truly matters. Consider how your actions affect not only yourself but also the world around you. Harness your emotions, focus on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot. Embrace the interconnectedness of life and let it guide you towards wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. By integrating these principles into your daily life, you will find yourself not only more resilient, but also more at peace. You will become a beacon of rationality and virtue in a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable. And most importantly, you will live a life that is not only good for you, but also beneficial for the world around you. Keep striving, keep reflecting, and keep growing. The journey of self-improvement is a lifelong one, but with each step, you become a better, stronger, and more enlightened version of yourself. So, take a deep breath, look at the big picture, and embrace the wisdom of the Stoics. Your best self is always within reach. We've reached the end of our discussion, and I hope these insights have been helpful to you. Remember, you're an important part of this channel and community. If this video has helped you reflect, learn something new, or simply resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up so more people can benefit from Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't yet, check out our ebook on Stoicism and how to apply it in your life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and a more fulfilling life.